Hi there, my name is Armando Pérez Martinez, and in this presentation, I'm gonna talk about Krashen's hypothesis on language acquisition. First of all, let's make a distinction between language acquisition and language learning. According to Krashen, language acquisition is a subconscious process. That means that children and adults can't pick up oral and written language. The process may occur in a conversation or watching a movie or reading a book. On the other hand, language learning is the opposite. It is a conscious process. We know we are learning. An example of this is when we have English courses because we talk about grammar and rules. Um, the monitor hypothesis is the relation that acquisition and learning have. When we are acquiring a language, the knowledge of grammar and rules of the language modify the output to get a correct use of the language, because when acquiring language it doesn't focus on the correctness but on the communicative act. Um, there are there are three types of performer, which are over users, under users, and optimal users. The first ones attempt to monitor all the time. These are the students that try to say the message according to grammar. They focus on the correctness but not in the communicative act. It is difficult for them to acquire fluency. Lack of confidence is often related to this type of performer. Under users are the ones that feel that know the correctness because of their experience. The last one is the optimal users. They monitor only when appropriate. That means that they reflect on their output and try to correct what they say or write, but only when necessary. Um, the other hypothesis of Krashen is the natural order hypothesis. According to him, we acquire parts of the language in order. That means that we can't learn something without previously have learned the previous, and this does not has to do with the complexity. For example, the complexity of grammar. For instance, we acquire the s at the end of the verb regarding the third singular person. Um, um, After we have mastered the ing. Another hypothesis is the input hypothesis. This is a theory about the acquiring of language. This theory answers the question, how do we acquire the language? We understand language through extra-linguistic information to help us understand language directed to us, such as images. Also, when there is enough information to understand something complex. If understand what we are said, more complex structures will be provided automatically. The fluency can be taught directly. It is something acquired unconsciously and it takes time. It is important to mention that when acquiring a language, there is a stage called the silent period. In this first stage, the learner has lack of output because he or she is developing language competence through listening by understanding the language around him. An example can be when a Mexican man goes to the US and picks up some English. Uh, as we know, at the beginning, it would be difficult for him to speak in English. That is the silent period, and in this stage, he will only receive English by listening. After that, he will be able to speak once developed competence and being acquired. In the classroom, for example, in the context of the classroom, some would agree that several months must happen until the learner starts to produce. The controversy here is when in a classroom, students, children, and adults are asked to produce at the beginner's level before acquiring enough syntactic competence to express their ideas. The consequence, according to Newmark in 1966, is that students try to combine the rules of their first and second language that results of types of errors related to first language rules. The affective filter hypothesis refers to the factors that facilitate second language acquisition, such as the motivation, self-confidence, anxiety, and personality. The learners who are motivated with low level of anxiety and extroversion have more chances to acquire the language. For example, in a classroom where a student is not shy to participate and make mistakes, is the one that develops skills faster, such as fluency when speaking. On the other hand, the lack of motivation and introversion causes what is called mental block that prevents comprehensible input from being used for acquisition. The role of teachers in the classroom, they are the ones that have to provide the English due to students are not in a context where the English is spoken. They can't practice it outside the classroom, so teachers have to be able to master the language and provide comprehensible speaking, and they have to make students comfortable. That's it. Thank you.